Hi friends, today I want to make a video about one of the law or a couple of the lawmakers in Denmark, and as so many other things happen in the world, I very often feel I can draw some kind of parallel to my child case and child cases, and what that do to people, and let's come into the subject. It's about this person, Jakob Ellemann, who is in a very high position in the Danish society. In the new government, he became defense minister, and he is the leader of one of the Danish parties, the one called Venstre, which you can translate to left, which is actually placed on the right side of the politic scale. So a fine example for how they try to confuse people's brain. But and he has many other things, of course. He's a father, he's a son, he is a lot of things on the family side also. But situation is that he is in the leading position of the Danish government. Actually, the only way they could agree after last election was that the Prime Minister continued, but two other parties were going into the government together with her. Means there are actually three head persons in the Danish government now. It fits fine to the thing with the tricolor or the tree thing, but he got the job as the minister who should defense minister, and all three leading persons in the government have just been in Ukraine. And after he came home from that travel, he was on a check at the Danish hospital, and it ended up with that he said that he has to take a period off because he was stressed. And nobody knows when he comes back. Here I found an article, and what I noticed is that they have put it up 20:03 in the evening. So there we have the 03, the very important 3 number again, which I think symbolizes something that is twisted upside down and twisted back again to normal. So when he is stressed, it could also mean that his world has been turned around. He cannot handle it anymore. And maybe this number 03 tells that he will come back. He will come back normal. So that's what I believe. But we have a minister who suddenly has been moved into the psychiatric diagnose system. That's interesting in itself. When the world have turned out to be as it is today, where it seems to most people end up having mental problems. But there are many things about this, but I will not go into details. But one thing in this case is there's an expert in stress who say it can be risky for and give scars for the rest of the life if you come back too early after you have been stressed. And she also say that it's best to start up slowly, so you do have a small, so you do not, if you start just like normal, there's a big risk that you could get a back fall, so you will not be able to manage your job again. So she says it's very important to start up slowly. And here, of course, in my child case, I think about when you cut the connection between a parent and a child for longer time. As far as I have understood the system, they also want to start up the contact very slowly. It's a very good trick for the devil, because then you can stretch time, stretch time, so you have the opportunity to control things longer, and you have the opportunity to earn as many money on a sad situation as possible. But yes, I could have a suspicion that in my period of hard things in the child case, I actually also was stressed. And it was the way the case was run and how the resistance to me was extremely hard. It was I have told about it before, but there's something about this person, Jakob. That's of course his name, and I'm pretty sure they are playing a big act, a big theater in front of us. But I can also have a suspicion there's an AI involved. And the Jakob in the Bible, I think it's some kind of a low person, or not enlightened person, an insecure person who maybe actually do not really know what's going on, who has the opportunity to become more educated. So when he go down with stress, if it's an acting, it could be because it symbolize an uneducated person, or a person who has not been enlightened who has not been enlightened yet. And I also remember I once saw a book title. It was called Make a Jacob into an Israel. And how I have understood that title, it should be how you change a person to be from unenlightened to be enlightened. So I will assume this Jakob will come back more clever. Now he has gone down, and then maybe it can make him look at things from another angle, so he will become clever and maybe go out and do some more right things than he would have done before his disease break out. But there's a thing about this disease. After a period where he has been away from job, suddenly the media start to talk about that his mother has gone out in the media and talked about her son's disease. So suddenly here we see there could be some kind of weakness from this man, where his mother take over, almost like she's controlling. She's taking the control over his life, or what should be told about his disease. And one of the things she mentioned is that it has been hard for him the last period. And of course, no doubt, he has had a lot to see, to take care of with those high job he has had. But on the private front, he has lost his father, who was also a very, very famous and well-known politician in Denmark, a very charismatic politician. And now we are with his mother. I have to mention her name is Alice. Alice in Wonderland. Alice, something with confusion when growing up. But she is named Alice Vestergaard. So there we have the Vest also, which is where the sun go down. So it could be some hint to something at the dark side. But she has also been at the top of known people in Denmark. When I was a child, she was a very famous journalist on the television news. But one of the things the mother say, Jakob's mother, Alice, say, is that he has not worked out the sorrow from losing his dad. I can say his dad was more than 80 years. He died in a normal age to die. But a minister high in the Danish government, everybody should understand that it was hard for him to handle life. And one of the reasons was that this man, who is, I think he's 49, has just lost his father, maybe half a year ago or something like that. And at the same time, people think it's okay that small children should be ripped away from their parents and handle that fine. We make a number 2.